What's good, yeah, it's your boy, like your boy is back like a Babylon parents of Bushings Babylon. Welcome back to Spooky Scare Friday. So don't forget to smash the like button if you're new. Don't smash the like button if you're new. Smash the like button if you want more Spooky Scare Fridays. If you want me to react to any of your suggested Spooky Scare animated videos, Spooky Scare Friday, you know what to do. Comment in the description of this vid in the comments, or send me all my socials in the description. You can send me the videos you want me to react to on Spooky Scare Friday on my Twitter or my Instagram. And we're about to get into it up there, but to react to 3 true underbanned legend horror stories unembedded by well-known MR scary trails. The original videos are in the description if you want to go check it out. Don't forget, just select the footage and let's get it, y'all. Come on now, story 1.
I will regret buying the doll till the day I die. I was just a boy, no older than 15 when I saw it in a small curio shop outside Sapporo.
Yep.
My little sister Okiku had desired a doll for ages. Every time one was on display in a show window, wide-eyed and open-mouthed, fair envy filled her heart. Not that we were wealthy or anything. Nevertheless, I'd been saving for weeks, determined to treat her. The doll was a beautiful little handmade figure dressed in a silk kimono with bright black hair and lifelike glassy-looking eyes. Even I felt the doll was just perfect. From the moment I placed it in her hands, Okiko adored it. She named it after herself and carried it with her everywhere. She conversed with the doll, shared her bed with it, and donned it in a little dress she stitched herself. Sometimes I felt like she loved the doll more than she loved me, but I could take
like
that. Seeing her happy was enough. Then Okiku died.
What?
It was all too sudden day. She would frolic in the garden, laughing with the doll in her arms. The next, bedridden with a high fever. My parents did everything they could, but in the end, it was useless. No doctor could save her. She was gone for a week. The house felt silent. It was an ominous blanket of sorrow. In their grief, my parents placed Okiku's beloved doll before the family altar in her memory, and that was when the nightmare began.
What?
It was subtle at first. As I happened by the altar, I told myself that I saw the doll's glassy eyes follow me. Once, I thought its lips parted just slightly, as though it were whispering something I couldn't hear. The feeling of being watched never left me. One night, while I lie in bed, I heard a noise by the altar. It was delicate, reminiscent almost of fluttering footsteps. My heart pounded in an animalistic rhythm as I couldn't make heads or tails out of what I had just heard, till giggling. Okiku's giggling.
What? Bruh. Why you keep after all that you keep a doll in the house still? But I'll be getting chills too, not gonna lie, bro.
I sprang upright. My skin had turned into a pool of sweat. Surely it was a dream. I forced myself to breathe and calm down, but it came again, this time closer.
What? Boy, you were going to grab something.
I turned towards the altar. The moonlight from the window fell onto the doll and turned what remained of my breath into an icy chill. Its hair was longer. By morning, I'd convinced myself it had always been that way. Dolls do not grow hair. That's impossible. No. Still, in the direct subsequent weeks, the hair crept downward, strand by strand, inch by inch. First, it reached to its shoulders, and then there were antennae below the waist.
Why is there?
Even my mother, in deep mourning, noticed it.
Yeah.
She trembled at the touch of those unnaturally soft strands.
It's just your imagination.
Oh,
she
throw it away.
Sounding as if she didn't believe it, but I knew better. One night, I took my growing fear to its limit. I took a pair of scissors and, trembling, cut a piece of the doll's hair. The severed strands fell, fluttering to the floor. I breathed in relief. There, see? Just the doll. Just an illusion of my imagination.
Hey, don't piss it up, though.
The next morning, I nearly screamed out when I saw it. The hair had grown back. After that, the doll started harassing me. Its whispers kept becoming clearer and clearer. I began walking at night with a feeling of fingers dancing on my cheek. only for nothing but a soft whisper in reply.
Man, oh
Objects would
man.
move themselves in the house. The air turned foul with the smell of decay. And then, the dreams. In my dreams, Okiku was seen in the garden with the doll in her arms. Her face was white, with deep hollows for eyes. She whispered to me, but I couldn't catch her words. Slowly, she turned the face of the doll towards me. Its smile curved, grotesque, unnatural grin. I raised the scream. By then, my parents were convinced something was really wrong.
Bro.
My mother began covering the doll with cloth.
Throw it away. Why are we doing this? Like, just be serious. Why are we not throwing it away? I want no smoke, but why am I
Only
not throwing it
somehow
away?
it still emanated a feeling of presence. Something was troubling about it. Not just the hair itself, but it felt alive. In short, it felt wrong. That night, I
Man.
woke up, gasping for breath. It was as
What
if
the
something
fuck?
small pressed its palm onto my chest.
Nah,
Breathing
bro.
became a chore, and my vision blurred. I swore that I saw the
Nah,
doll set at the
bro.
foot of the bed, tilting its head ever so slightly. And just before I blacked out, I heard a whisper.
Hoki. Hoki.
Heck no. Nah,
The next morning, my parents took the doll to a priest, who took our story with a very composed face. Yet, after examining the doll, his face blanched. "This isn't just a doll," he whispered. "It is a vessel." He explained that my sister's spirit may have attached itself
my
to the doll and
gosh.
would move on. The hair growing, its whispering, the twisted events that continued was all Okiku trying to get reached. "The doll must be placed under divine protection," he said. "It cannot be destroyed." So we did the only thing we could.
Why I'm reacting to
We
this, bro? Why it's legend? Bro, why? Bro,
left
why
it
I'm
at
reacting to
Nenji
this?
Temple. The priest took it in, promising to take care of it and perform rituals to appease Okiku's restless spirit. We've tried our best to forget. I moved away, built a new life, and
But you can't
repeatedly
forget
tried
that,
to convince
dog.
myself there was no pure evil in it at all. Just a
No.
figment of childhood imagination. Yet, that was years ago. Yet, I still can't escape. I hear so many stories. The priests who keep cutting the
Man.
doll's hair, which grows back non-stop.
No.
Visitors claim to see the eyeballs move and the lips curve.
No, bro.
Others even say they can hear a hint of giggle echoing in the prelate halls at night. Some nights I wake up gasping for breath. I hear her whispers.
Nah, bro.
I so wish that I had never bought that doll. I so wish I
That
hadn't
is
given it
so
to my sister.
creepy.
Because now I know Okiku never left. She never will.
Damn. Got me fucked up. If you think I'm about to see the real deal. Yep. We're starting from here. I don't care. Why?
Figure.
Why? Get away from.
Was something
I'm gonna start from here, bro. No. I'm gonna start from here. Yeah, there we go.
accident. I would have done anything to hear his voice one more time. Anything. That was how I found myself standing at the gates of Hachioji Cemetery, glancing at the damn phone booth I had previously spied on a late-night YouTube video. The grainy footage of some guy picking up the receiver with a shaking voice and muttering things about whispers, breathing, and voices calling his name. Some said the booth was haunted by a lady in white, while others claimed the dead could speak through it. I cared not about the myths. All I wanted was to speak to my brother. It was almost midnight. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth, which made the cold wind rustle through the trees and creak the branches like old bones. My hands began to tremor as I stumbled forward. Each step crunched on the gravel.
Man.
Behind the glass panels, which were blurred from condensation, the booth looked vintage, streaked with something too much like fingerprints from inside. My stomach twisted. I inhaled deeply and pushed open the door. It creaked loudly, as if in protest against my presence. Inside was air that felt different, heavier with a compound of mildew and something metallic like rust or dried blood. My heartbeat raced as I picked the black receiver up. The line was dead. For a moment, there I was sitting, holding the phone and feeling absolutely silly about it.
Bro, I'd rather go
Surely
ask
this
somebody
was
for the
no
phone, bro.
reality. The grief had driven me to such lengths where I got desperate enough to chase ghost stories. I would almost
What?
have laughed at myself when, all of a sudden, the static crackled. I froze.
Nah.
The half-familiar voice that came through was all but inaudible, just a thin breath of sound. My heart surged into my mouth. "Brent?" I whispered. Silence. Breathing, slow and labored. Some presence at the end. "Ren, it's me, Kylo. Are you there? Can you hear me?" It was static again, and then a voice that barely reached my ears was
Don't say it.
distorted, as if coming from the depths of the ocean. "Kylo." There was no mistaking it. That was him, twisted, stretched out, if one may think to measure it. "Ren? Ren, is that you? Where are you?" My fingers gripped the receiver tighter. It started with whispers, louder, more voices overlapping each other, urgently desperate. I couldn't tell what they were saying. Very unexplained fear coursed through my veins. Then, amid static, one phrase broke through. It was clear and incomprehensibly succinct. "Turn around." I sucked in my breath. My scalp tingled. I didn't want to. I couldn't. But there was some undeniable force within me, some primal, unreasonable terror. The cemetery trailed behind, headstones.
But you think all this at the cemetery is absolutely diabolical? I had said it. Yeah, it's absolutely diabolical. You doing all this at the cemetery is absolutely crazy, bro.
Jutting out from the earth like jagged teeth. The trees swayed in the wind.
Man, why I
Their
got
shadows
chills,
shifted
bro.
in length. And then I saw her. A woman in a flowing white
Yup.
dress stood not far from the graves and had her back toward me. Her hair covered her face, long and dark. My body was paralyzed.
That was
Everything
shivered the
screamed
timbers,
for me to
boy.
run, but my feet just kept standing. The phone was still against my ear. All the whispers turned into shrill, unnatural wailings. The woman jerked. I dropped the receiver, the glass panels of the booth rattling violently as if something had been thrown against them from inside. I stumbled back, my breath coming in quick and shallow gasps. The woman turned. Her face, her eyeballs were dangling from her eye socket, almost
Bitch.
touching her cheeks. Her mouth was stretched to an unnatural width, lips pulling back to
Oh.
expose teeth too sharp, too many. She pounced. I fell backward onto the gravel, shaking as she screeched, shattered air with her piercing high voices.
What?
The world around me blurred. My heartbeat pounded heavily in my ears. And then, she was gone. The booth was now silent, with the receiver dangling from its cord back and forth. The thudding in my chest sped up as I quickly stood up. The whispers receded, the winds abated.
Man.
I was never alone again. A voice from behind me, familiar and broken. "Kylo, why didn't you save me?" I
What?
turned to see my brother,
Oh
the body
my
torn and
gosh,
tattered by the
bro.
crash. He had no more eye sockets.
Whoa.
Nothing. Darkness. When I opened my eyes, I was gasping for breath like I had just finished a 5-mile sprint. Broken was how I felt. A stench of decay permeated the air. It felt like the walls were closing in on me. My heart began to race when I realized I was trapped inside the booth. The door was locked. The receiver dangled,
Nah, bro.
limp from its cord, as if it had just been used. I gathered every bit of strength to stand and slowly attempt to push against the door. It wouldn't budge. At that moment, I began to feel the first touches of panic. "No, no, no!" I cried out in disbelief, pounding with fists against the glass. And just then, the lady in white stood outside the door. This time,
Give
though,
me
she was
chills, ho.
not far away. She was just beyond a few
I'm just playing, I'm
feet,
just playing, I'm just
looked
playing.
me straight in the eye through a glass panel. Her soulless black eyes bored into mine. Pale, bony fingers touched the glass. My scream caught in my throat.
Ew.
She stood there and smiled wickedly, slowly, as her loosened lips parted to reveal a mouth without any humanity.
Kylo.
Oh,
She
heck
sang
no.
creepily, sending a chill up my spine.
For sure.
Stay.
"No, no, let me out!" I screamed.
Bro.
She tilted her head, amusement in her expression. Then she blew onto the glass, and her breath formed words that chilled my
No.
very marrow.
You belong to me.
Nope.
And then the telephone rang, loud and clear. I turned around, the hand shaking now, with the antique rotary glowing faintly. The number blurred in front of me as if the wild had moved closer. Written on the receiver, Kylo scratched as if done with a fingernail.
my God,
I
chills.
draw breath. With shaking fingers, I turned back to the woman in white. She was gone. Some kind of omen insidiously crept into my mind, saying that I was nowhere close to being alone. The ringing stopped. Then the receiver lifted, slowly, on its own. And the voice at the other end was no longer a whisper. It was clear now, familiar. Kylo. And now it was Ren's voice, no longer warped. It was soft. It was broken. I need you to let go. Tears filled my eyes and started threatening to spill out. Ren, I'm so sorry. I know, he whispered, but you can't stay. You need to go, now.
Wow.
Then the phone clicked. The air shifted. The door swung open all by itself. I didn't hesitate this time. I was running now that I was free from the cemetery, burnt inside, inhaling air into my lungs. When I turned back, the booth was nothing. The cemetery was silent, as if it entirely swallowed it there. To this day, I don't know if I ever really left. Some nights, there's the ringing of the phone. Some nights, I dream of a woman in white standing near my window, watching, waiting.
I don't want to see the real pictures.
Only
Please.
I hear
Chill
her
out.
calling me.
Hello.
That's creepy.
The Hachioji.
You got me fucked up. You got me so fucked up. Boom, bitch. Next vid. Boom, bitch. Yep. If y'all wanna go, if y'all wanna go ahead to see that, bro.
Tray is
Now, if you wanna go see those are real events actually happen, when it shows the real events after the animations, go ahead and see it. It's gonna be in the description, if I'm saying, of this vid. So you can go and see it if you want to see it, dog. I don't want to see it, dog.
leaned in closer, almost conspiratorial.
Last night I was surfing the web. You know, random rabbit holes.
Rabbit holes.
And I found it.
Her voice was low, almost frightened.
The Red Room.
I raised an eyebrow, unimpressed.
Mia, come on. It's just creepy pop-up prank. No, Riley.
Her voice wavered.
It's not just a prank.
Man.
After I closed it, I started getting messages. Calls.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Back in the day, bro, when I was in middle school, bro, people used to like do this, like, you know, but nobody believes in like ghost stories and the legends. They used to do them. They say, yo, bro, do you wanna come and like, if I'm saying, bro, I say, nah, bro, y'all can go do what you wanna do. I'm gonna make home. For real. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not trying to go no haunted houses. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm just gonna go home. So that's how you should be.
Unknown numbers. They all said the same thing.
That's just a suggestion. If I'm saying a tip.
Mia looked around, with her nerves causing her eyes to dart about. She shook her head and pushed away her tray.
I can't talk about it.
She stood up so suddenly that her chair
She
nearly
thick,
tipped
though.
over, and as she walked away,
Little bit,
I
she got a little
noticed
bit.
how her hands trembled and how she hugged her arms around herself, as if she were trying to hold herself together.
Should have ate the food?
I dismissed it at first, as just more of her games, but then Mia exploded. Mia
What?
looked haggard the next day, her normally tidy hair messy, eyes sunken and bloodshot. In class, she hardly spoke, and when I tried to approach her with a question, she just seemed to look at me through a haze, past me as if peering right through me into something I couldn't see. Then came the first incident. It was while I was going back to my locker to grab my math book. Then I spotted Mia in the dark hallway near the supply closet, marker in hand,
Man.
furiously scrawling something on the wall.
I would just run away, not gonna lie, bro. I'm being serious, yeah. I'm a dip. It's what it is. Got nothing to do with me, you know what I'm saying? I would dip, straight up. I just start right tweaking
I
out.
took a step closer,
Yep.
heart pounding. On the wall, she wrote, "I'm cursed," over
Nope.
and over again in thick, jagged
Nope.
letters with
Nope.
nearly half the
Nope.
wall covered.
Mia?
My voice
No, bro.
trembling. She turned around so fast I stumbled
Run.
back.
Run. Step.
Her pupils were dilated,
No.
face pale and clammy with sweat. Then, without a word, she dropped the marker and walked away, as if I was frozen there. The second incident was worse. I was stuck in detention, and when finally leaving, heard faint whispers from the
Bro,
girls.
the funny thing is, like, bro, not gonna lie, detention is like when like middle school I was used to go to detentions, if I'm saying. Like, bro, everybody left for the detentions and I was the only one in the detention, bro. That was crazy, bro. I woke up, there's nobody to see. The shit was dark. There was no light. The shit was all the way dark and the lights was off. I was the only one in detention. The doors was closed. I was thinking I was stuck, but I got out, bro. That was crazy.
Restroom. The school
It was scary shit, not gonna lie, bro.
mostly empty, and for some reason that sound twisted my stomach. I pushed the restroom door open
Nah.
and found Mia standing before the mirror. She wasn't
Dip.
alone. She was talking to her reflection.
No,
Her voice was
no.
low and guttural, almost inhuman.
No.
You can't have me. I won't let you. I won't.
No, no, no. No,
Suddenly,
G.
She stopped, giggled, and then turned to look at me.
It's watching, Riley.
No.
She whispered.
It's changing me.
You better
I
run.
ran out of there so quickly that my legs wobbled. By the next day, Mia had hardly spoken, and I was worried sick, looking for her on the recess. Then I saw her walk toward the woods behind the school. With her was Bianca, another girl from our class. There was a terrible feeling in my stomach, and I rushed after them.
She about to do to
The
Bianca.
more I went into the woods, the stronger the
Pause.
anxiety within me. The air was too still, uncomfortably so. When I caught up with them, my blood ran cold. Bianca was down, struggling,
Told you.
dirt and tears lining her face. Mia was on top of her,
Bad dip.
pressing a fork, probably stolen from the cafeteria, dangerously close to Bianca's left eye.
I don't know what I would do. But throw a rock. Don't throw a rock.
I shouted.
No.
Bianca whined, hardly able to defend herself as Mia jabbed the fork in and out of Bianca's skin, small beads of blood forming.
Boy.
But Mia's face was twisted in something just inhuman. A
Nah,
grin expanded
bro.
her lips, while the fingers
Dip.
trembled with manic energy.
It
Run.
told me to do this.
She
Run.
whispered.
I have to.
Run.
I have to.
I didn't think. I moved. I charged at Mia,
I
pinning
didn't
her
touch
shoulders
the
down
shit.
in an attempt to drag her off Bianca. She screamed like a wild animal, thrashing wildly as she fought against me.
Heck no.
Bianca rolled away, straight away, holding her face and sobbing. Mia's nails drove into the soft skin of my arms, but I held her with all my strength. I yanked
she
her
better
back
come
toward
help.
me, and down we both went to the ground. The head hit a rock with a sickening
Oh,
sound,
wow.
and then silence. Mia lay unmoving. Her chest barely rose and fell as she breathed shallowly. Blood from the back of her head flowed freely. All I
Man.
could think of was Bianca crying for help. All I could do was stare at my best friend and wonder how the hell we got all the way here.
Oh
The
no.
last time I saw Mia was in the asylum. She was shut inside a padded cell. The walls of her room were defaced, smeared by red crayon. I'm cursed. She had written it hundreds of
No,
times, on
no,
and
no,
on,
no,
until the
no.
words had bled together in a spiraling whirl of insanity. She turned around at the sound of my calling, and such was the shock that I almost
Ooh, I got
screamed.
chills,
Her
bitch.
face was ruined, raw with scratches.
Nah.
Her skin was angry and oozing
Nah.
pus. Her fingers bandaged, restrained so she couldn't maim herself any further.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the
And
video.
yet,
Yeah.
She smiled.
Chills, bitch. Give me chills, boy.
Riley.
No, no.
She cooed, syrupy sweet.
Bear
With a
dip.
little giggle, she came right next to me. Then she bent close, breath against my ear.
Oh my god.
Don't go to the red room, Riles.
Oh wow.
I ran out of there, her laughter echoing behind me.
Nah.
Even then, I could still hear it. Sometimes, late at night, I received text messages on my phone from an anonymous number.
Nope.
All say the same thing.
Do you like the Red Room?
Nope. Get the fuck out here. Yep. If you wanna go check out the vid, y'all already know. I'm gonna post the link in the description of the video. You can go check it out. I'm done with it. Stop it. I'm done with it. Hope you enjoyed this. If you want more Spooky Scary Friday, you know what to do. Smash the like button. What you're snocking on. Comment down with what you're snocking on. Dog. Give me the chills. Give me the crips. I'm done. I'm done for sure. I'm gonna see you boys in the next one, and peace.